Hi, I'm Jinx, and welcome to Anyland. I just got back from IRL dinner with Delco, and so I'm going to make a follow-up video here to Ravenswich. Didn't expect our last video to be quite so long, but this is going to be the rest of Ravenswich, Castle Ravenswich specifically. There's a whole wing downstairs that we didn't even cover because it's mostly optional content, and I want to show off a few other fun things that we included here. So, my point of view, we are in the antechamber, pre-foyer, I guess, of the castle. I'm just going to turn around here and head inside. Very good. So, as before, the foyer of the castle. Very nice. Excellent. We kind of built this to be, in some ways, kind of realistic. We thought about how we planned it out. So, in which case, the downstairs here would kind of be where you'd bring the guests. So, as we saw before, we give them the house on the haunted hill boxes with revolvers, right? Later, we'll come back and I'll do the bathroom door event, and then back there is the dining room and kitchen, and that also has a secret entrance and exit from behind the stairs, the underground, which I'll show that. But, you know, if you were to bring guests to the castle, you wouldn't bring them into the wing up there, which is for the servants, and you wouldn't bring it into the master's experimental room. No, you'd bring them into the drawing room, I guess, and they can hang out with the fireplace and maybe grab a book, you know, chill out, etc. You'd eventually bring them into that dining room, but to begin with, you'd probably bring them over here. So let's go over here, and I'll show you. This is unlocked, and the first place you can go without ever finding a key or anything. Yep, upside down bat signal. No relation to Batman. So you come in here and you're like, oh, Jinx, I thought you said this is a wing. It's a dead end. Like, what are you trying to show off? No, this is actually your first little interactive, we'll say puzzle. So yeah, you come up here. It's a well lit with a candelabra, and it's a statue. And yeah, we might have seen this statue before, this type, this model in Ravenswich, the city, 50, 60 years ago. So what are you supposed to do? There are no switches, no buttons, there's darkness. And if you come over here, I made it really obvious what you're supposed to do. I mean, I don't think I could have got more obvious than literal hands, right? So just push, and it opens up. And scratch marks. We went the extra detailed mile to show the scratch marks. You can see the scratch marks on the other side if you just look down. So you walk through here, and we have some nice stained glass pillars, a few steps up, trying to, again, deal with verticality and make it nice. Candlestick that's burnt out, but need a light. These are refresher candlesticks. So we're here. And you can come out into this pretty bright foyer. And if you look up, you'll see there's a balcony. And we'll go up there in a little bit. First, let's show off this area. I remember building this, and I remember trying to figure out what colors I wanted and what kind of wallpaper. Because I had stone, but I didn't want to do stone everywhere in this place. And I think that showed in the other rooms that we did in the last video. So, yeah, we also have a grand statue in the middle. And this is not labeled. There's no plaque. Kind of leading towards maybe this was the master of the castle. But again, no plaque, so it's up to you and your interpretation. There's double entrance to the pool room. We're going there in a minute. But first, I want to show the ballroom. I'm going to switch hands. Also, if you look back, a large, I don't know, mosaic, I suppose, or statuary made of the four eyes of Ravenswich with the banners. So in case you forgot where you were, in case you forgot any tie-in, this is it. All right, so this is labeled ballroom. There's a entranceway here that has a nice cloth, covering, and it says pull me. So one of the things we were doing in Castle Ravenswich was a little more interactive things. So it's a holdable that's fixed so it can only go up and down. And let's see, grab it and pull it, let go. And the curtain moves aside, and we're in a ballroom, just like it said, with some spectral guests. They're all hanging out. Yeah, the lights are weird in here, of course, like you might have noticed. In a bar. And let's say hi. You cannot say hi. When you try to get close to the ballroom, they vanish with that sound. Just to give you that eerie vibe. This is one of the last rooms, I think, that we were filling in. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this big room, and I don't want to go crazy with the part count. So we just did that. So we did drums and harp. This harp. Yep. It works. And that exact model I'll show off from upstairs. And the drums. These things will come into play in another room. Balcony with a little side area here for benches. You can just hang out and watch people dancing, which is nice if you're a wallflower. Or tired. Maybe you're tired of dancing. When I used to go swing dancing all the time, Glen Echo had the outer wing like this. And man, I'd only dance to the fastest song, so it was hot. I would get tired, So it was always nice to have a spot to chill out. So nothing behind the bar, just empty space. Again, I didn't really want to fill it out. Delco's nice bar, though. Looks nice. Didn't want to up the thing count too much. No one's meant to stay here long, which is cool. This door leads into the next room, which you can get in from there. I'm going to cover that because it has another place we need to go to. So before that, just pointing out, if you went from the foyer in there and came this way, there's an identical pull me to open the curtains to come back. So it works both ways, which is nice. Back in the foyer, as promised, we will go to the pool room. It's a double door and pool room. Blue lines, because blue for water, right? I initially wanted to make this kind of glass, and I wasn't happy with the way it came out. Plus, I liked that you couldn't see in, so you didn't really know what you're about to walk into, right? So open the door. And sure enough, a fancy pool room with some water and, yes, a beach ball. It's a little bit in motion, just floating up there, and, black and orange for Halloween, of course. Stained glass, plus the big stained glass, which was in Club Confession, and I reused it in House of the Haunted Witch House 3. Some nice pillars, these plants that we made for this world, because we needed some filler that would just look nice. You can go in the water. It's actually water. I know, that sounds weird to say, perhaps, but no, really. I liked lining it with candles. This room very much gave me a hotel pool vibe. And since this lower level of Castle Ravenswich is supposed to be kind of for the guests, for entertainment, it kind of made sense. I wanted it clean. I wanted it nice, presentable, Nothing spooky in here at the moment. One more thing to point out is the ceiling. As that one, there are two textures, but you can see the blue texture is animated. Just like if you were actually here and there's light reflecting from the water onto the ceiling. Yes. Delco came up with this effect in our start of the Underground 2, and we knew we had to reuse it. He also used it in the sewers in Ravenswich. That subtle space we pointed out in that commentary video, so I had to reuse it in here. So, another door, and it says pool room, but we're in the pool room, so what? Of course, Delco and I, it's a joke. Yes, it's a pool room. Billiards pool this time, of course. So we made this as a lot of ashtrays, so I guess it's a smoking room. Gentleman's club style, old school. He made this lovely pool table, which I really like. Pool cue stick. This is a lamp that base model had made from, I'd made for actually the lamp right there, right? And I took the lamp shade and just altered it, but kept it in that style, green. And then we have lights under. So it really feels like a good, billiard pool room, as it should. There's a closet there. And I took one of my paintings and just made it bigger to fill this wall up. More cues. The TV. Remember, I like to do the electric TV in this world. This is kind of why we set it at this time frame. So, yeah, it's just a nice room. Two things. Remember this closet? I'll just open it. Oh, there's a little bit of blood, but it's just an empty closet. Remember, it's an empty closet. We'll see later. Later in this video, that is. So we'll leave. Moving right along. Here we go. Oh, no. What happened to the water? It's blood. Yep, because of course something spooky had to happen. There's no actual jump scare in this part. So still wanted to lean in well to some of the spookiness. It's still water. You can still, hear, and you can still look under. Ugh. But that's inconsequential. It's just fun. So, yeah. Let's go next door. All right, we're back out here. There's the balcony, and I like that it sticks out a little. It feels like a proper balcony, not just a hole in the wall to look down. And again, this room is large because we really wanted to lean into verticality. Like, we kept trying to reinforce ourselves when we made Ravenswich, and the castle just, big foyer, castle being big, spacious, difficult to heat, It just worked well. It was easy to do. I like to point out the light here, the chandelier itself. Anytime I've used that exact chandelier, like in Club Confession and a few other places, the light bulbs are just inner glow material. They glow in the dark. They're not actually giving off light. There is an invisible sphere right just above that first kind of sphere thing. That is a placed light. And that's why it gives those shadows, because it's giving off shadows for all the geometry of that chandelier. But I love that effect. I think it looks very good. I'm very happy with it. So, moving on to verticality. Again, some Ravenswich statuary up in the store. Yes, we're back in here. The weird, it has a kind of mausoleum vibe with a sarcophagus. Like, weird. This ceiling, yes, it is domed. It is domed, and I put a texture on it, and then expanded the texture and arranged it so that it would do these curved lines. That door closed in my face. I'll back up here so I can get a glimpse of it all. Yeah, because the shape itself is a dome. When I put certain texture in, it automatically curves some things, and then I just started playing with the size and the angles and jazz. So I got this really nice effect that I like. Wouldn't quite call it gilded, but kinda. There are pillars in here that kind of line up with the texture after I made the texture. I was thinking about doing like a puzzle, but this wasn't really the spot I wanted to do a puzzle. I just wanted people to come through and observe. So, go in here, not a teleport door, but stairs. Yes, if you watched the other video, you might recognize these stairs. I've used these exact stairs a couple of times. Another refresher lantern. It makes sense. In a castle, you would have large stone, turret-like round stairs, but also it would be the same because the architecture would be the same, of course. So you get to the top and it opens up that way. There's a chair, a little bureau kind of thing, a hanging light. I like that. I recognize that from Ravenswich itself. Bookshelf, new style. Remember this chair. Yeah, so it opens up in here. And I know it's dark, but there are more statues all the way down in between the windows, down the way. Yes, you might recognize these statues from Ravenswich, the end of the museum. This guy doesn't turn his head, I don't believe. The lady with the staff. And the guy with the big axe. I love that. I like it. Again, large domed ceiling for interest. Do you see it? Did you see it before I pointed it out? When you go down the hall, this ghost dude, which you might recognize again from Ravenswich, very similar, clearly not in a good way, he just shows up silently. So if you didn't notice at the top of the stairs, you might notice after that, and it's freaky. Yeah, let's notice a couple steps down. Candle with a little candle holder with the brass kind of backing to help the reflection if it were real. Yep, and so this we'll come back to in just a sec, but that is the balcony that leads down. So we're going to go in that room from the other side. Here we are. Doop. Yes, very good. Going in here. I'm going to leave this candle for now. Goodbye, candle. Ah, living room. Let's step in. Oh, dear. What happened? Oh. This isn't... Is this the same living room? I don't feel good. Why is it grayscale? This is locked. Bodies. So, sparkles and bodies. I liked doing the floating bodies in House on the Haunted Woods Trails 3. I just like that effect in the grayscale room. It's just freaky. And this guy's bobbing up and down. Even freakier, even though these guys are bent backwards. This guy's bent forwards. You can see his face. So, I just like the weirdness of it all. The unease of it, even though they don't do anything. So we'll get out of here. And yep, we turn around and look at that. Where's everyone? Ha! As you might have surmised if you've watched Delco and my previous director's commentaries, that was just an untweened sub thing in 0 seconds that just, it's rideable. So it just takes you there instantly. So in there's a when neared. Yeah, it just takes you off. I'm going to grab another torch here. Torch, candle, stick. Yep, here we go. All right. Here we are. Let's see. Ugly wallpaper. I remember I couldn't think of what color I wanted this to be. So, I don't know. I picked the kind of green. Here's that balcony. I like that you can look down. I like that if you had guests in here and the guests were getting through, they could see each other. Same thing when we've had actual people here. Real humans in Anyland adventuring. And it's the same deal. People can come in and you're here. Like, hello. Oh, come down there and go up and you'll meet me here, etc. As you can link up and pair up. So we come into this room. I like this room a lot because this is like, how do I put it? This is just like the master of the castle collecting and displaying things from Ravenswich over the years. So you've seen this painting, right? And then we have other things. The smoking gun. Remember that was used to murder someone right around the corner as you going upstairs. And then we have this and that poison bottle are actually from the end, near the end of Haunted Woods Trails 2. Entrance to the underworld. Whilst existing many actual methods, there is simply only a singular path for which the spirit may cross over to the underworld. Death. Any poison or self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head should suffice. So I just like having that book there as a reference, and a bottle of poison perhaps. Oh, and the gun, right? So yeah, at the end of Haunted Woods Trails 2, you come across a room similar to this in a few ways, with that book on a pedestal and 2 skeletons, one with a gunshot wound and one with a bottle of poison, and on a table, and you have to choose how you want to kill yourself. When you do, there's a special effect that takes you to the catacombs towards the end. Yeah, so this display case, however, display case of Delco's. This has actual stuff from Ravenswich itself. So you might recall a dagger, the artifact, very important artifact, yes. Some weird ritual stuff, the purple mushrooms that give off the purple air. These were our jump scare alert devices. A locked box that would contain the artifact, and some of Aaron Winchesterson's notes. I know if you've gone through Ravenswich itself, there are something like 17 notes of his that kind of give the story, his story, perhaps, as he went out on Halloween night and you're following in his trails. So, Yeah, we chock things full of story. Before we go in there, let's see Mr. Skeleton in a... Hello? Yeah, so when you get close, his neck cracks, and now he starts looking at you. Just to add some more of that unsettledness. And I like that he's a wraith. I say wraith, I'm thinking of Hexen, I think. Where he doesn't have a body and he floats, and yeah, anyway. Let's go in here. Okay. Oh, a teddy bear in a display case? How interesting. Hello? Oh. Oh, evil teddy bear. Oh, evil teddy bear. Yeah, so we did see him in Ravenswich, right? Upstairs in that one house. Sitting on that armchair. This was also in a display case in the Museum of Ravenswich. Yes, it is the Tome of Eternal Darkness from the game Eternal Darkness. I love it. I love the game, so having it here is just perfect. Having it in Ravenswich is just perfect. Another thing on display, you might recognize this. In a very Myst the game way. Yep, a book, a linking book. Where to? You might have recognized if you've been there. My own Jinx Mansion. Which starts, you're in a space with a linking book and you have to touch the picture just like you would in Myst, and it takes you to the front courtyard of Jinx Mansion proper. Love that. So another one of my pictures blown up for size. And then locked. Good. Oh, hey, it's Castellan's cat. That's an indication that you are somewhere interesting, right? So this is optional. But look at this. Oh, a dark moon gem. Is that what those are? The Ravenswich rituals, huh? What does it say? Transcend the physical world with insight into the arcane. Dispel it. Oh, yes. Purple particle effects like the keys. You know, it's something you should probably pick up. Put in your inventory. You don't have to carry it all the time. This will dispel some frights in Castle Ravenswich and is very useful for what I consider the main entrance into where you're going to get the skeleton key. Remember that library room with the floating books and the ritual circle, and those books are chomping, chomp, 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 and they're all spooky and you can't even get out of in that room. If you approach that hall and that room and that door with this out, there's something in that room hidden that's reading something that this is giving off, tell commands, which will dispel that whole thing and let you in. So I'm just going to set it down here because I don't need it right now. I want to show the bookshelf. Wow, isn't this fun? There's a single book with some texture on it. That is one of these things is not like the other, right? It's yellow, whereas all the books we've ever seen in Ravenswich or anything has not been. It's titled, and of course, it's hanging out precariously. You know what to do, right? You want to touch it, don't you? Good, because you're supposed to touch it. Anyway, Death Loops and More by JV and CV. Deathloop, the game, came out when I made this, of course. And Delco and I love that game. So it just was a fun tie-in and good title. So yeah, go ahead and touch it. Oh. Yeah. It falls, slides, and this comes out. And I think the bell indicates we're on the hour. That's fun. So you can pick up the light. Now we're in a back passage. I love back passages in any game. In a castle, in a haunted house. Yes. So we'll go up these stairs. Torches being held by skeleton hands. Love it. Nice, nice. Oh, there's a grate. Great. A gate. Great. Yeah, of course. And there's something beyond, of course, because there's definitely a hallway. And a switch. What are we going to do? That didn't lower that. Okay, two things. One, you want to hit that because there's a grate. I can't really see in the dark, I suppose. But this hallway turns this way, right up beyond. And there's another gate. So you want to flip that so that that gate goes down. And on the other side of that is this gate's lowering mechanism. So it's a two-way release of a back path in case you need it coming back. And I'll show that later. What else did it do? It lowered this space. I bordered it out with wood as you pass it to kind of give you maybe an indication that it's special, a doorway. And so it lowered. So we'll go down. Yep. Go down some more. Nice. Ooh, back path. And we're going through it. Yeah, okay. Ooh. So it's a... Yeah, okay. I think you know what to do now. Yeah. Do you recognize? I pointed it out just a little bit ago. The pool room. Yes, indeed. That is the back path. So if you go up and get that ritual object and you don't want to backtrack all the way around, you can have fun. There's more to see, more to do. And being in that room, the pool room, for the billiards room, triggers this to go blood. So if you didn't go in here and saw it clear white, clear blue and white water, it will now be red. All right, so we're done in here. Now we can move on to somewhere else. Real quick, I'm just going to run through. We'll go to the, we're going to go to the bathroom door. It says bathroom, out of order. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oh, how unfortunate. Oh no. Oh, dear God. Oh, somebody hit the ground. Oh, they hit the ground. And yeah, so wasn't going to do a bathroom. Didn't care. You notice this wall is on an angle, so I was not about to make an angled anything. It's already crazy. But I wanted to have a fun sequence. I hate doing just doors that are like, oh, it's locked. It's locked, move on. So I wanted to do a sequence. So it was fun to do sound effects that played in sequence, and having the block that was playing them. First the knocking, and then the screaming and the stabbing. But then it moves down there beyond the door for the kapunk, to make it sound like the body actually fell and hit the ground. So I always like to do positional audio that way. And of course the blood, because it's great. Yep, so now banquet hall. And remember, this is the back, and that door leads to the downstairs, the basement, the dungeon. So banquet hall. Teleport in. Ah, nice space. Sure. And, oh gosh, it's so dark in here. Let me just grab a building light real quick, just because I know how dark it is. All right, I'll hold it over my head. It's a proper banquet hall. Very old school. Like you'd expect in a castle, right? Wings off to the side and some cupboards, I guess. The chandelier. Bunch of tables, long table. So this is where you have many guests, of course. Yep. So you got all this. You got more wings on both sides, tables. You know, you can picture several waiters and servants here. Yeah. So I'm going to delete that, and I'll hold this to make it easy. Even though, yes, I know it's still dark on this video. So turn this way. Do you see him? The beholder. My beholder. I know it doesn't have enough eyes to be an official Dungeons and Dragons beholder. So it's a tunnel leading to the kitchen. You have nowhere to go. If you had the ritual object in your hand, he wouldn't be there. That makes him not even appear. So that's fun. But here we go. Just like Haunted Witch Trails 3, I love making something big, floating demon coming at you. And you just get that feeling when you're here, especially when you don't expect it. So here's a nice dark Anyland ring. Kitchen. Yep. Kitchen. I wouldn't eat that. I would not eat that. Okay. Yeah, kitchen. Some pots and pans, you know. And if you're in here, you can hear a sound a couple places. With the refrigerator, I did a sound block. You can't go in the fridge. Nah, it's okay. Hey, it's a step ladder, because I never knew my real ladder. Yeah. If you context laser that, it says that in the description. Another cupboard thing, and note the wall is just blank. Boring blank. Suspiciously boring blank. This is where you can come up from the dungeon, But I'll show you. There's actually another secret here. If you squeeze back here, behind the stove, nothing. But behind the fridge... Wait, there's nothing. There's just a hidey space. So if you want to hide from your friends as you go through here, you can. And then you can jump out and spook them. Okay, quick cut. And I am in the dungeon room. If you recall this, I kind of remember calling it my Doom dungeon because everything's kind of orthogonal and very Doom-like, especially with these guys on the pikes. But if when you come out of here, you went up and got the big pumpkin jump scare and you flipped the switch and you revealed the key by the one last door up to the tower. You come out here and then you can go back this way and just backtrack through the dungeon. Kind of boring. Or you can come around here, weave through these guys, and go up these stairs, which we did not show in the other video. They don't have a ramp on them, do they? Because I wanted you to be more careful about where you stepped. All right. Ah, a door. I love these doors. Teleport door. Okay, cool. Here's a switch. Yep. And like I said before, just a moment ago, this is the back entrance to the kitchen. There's a spider up there. In case anyone turns around, but they don't. Cool. So, I'll run out of here. Just to show another fancy door. Yep. This door over up here. Yeah. So, you get close, you get the sour string hit, and there's this black, oily goo yick stuff coming out. Kind of the stuff we've seen upstairs. Usually has red eyeballs in it. Chain the door, which I thought was more interesting than just making it locked. Right? And I think I can backtrack this way. Yeah, sure. As we talked about in the first video for Castle Ravenswich, even though we didn't build anything beyond that door, which is why it's locked, it would lead to the antechamber or pre-foyer. And then it could lead right to the outdoor balcony, which Delco had set up in his castle facade. So it could be real if we wanted it to be. Yep. And then we'll do another jump here. Okay, a quick cut, and we are in this room, which you may recognize as the room with the things that jump when you look at them. I love it. I love the light especially because it's a placed light. So when it jumps, the light sourcing actually goes. Oh, gee, okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, the reason we're here is for this note. I will always remember that waltz we used to play together. Just hearing the prelude resonates with my very soul. How sweet. You'd count off the beat 1, 2, 3. Then I'd strum the opening 4 measures, and it would send me to a magical place in my heart. It's like a sweet love letter, but it's a clue to a puzzle. Yes, puzzle. We'll go here. We'll just run over. So I've already unlocked things for us. And grab a candlestick. So it's already dark enough, right? So going through here. I already unlocked the 2 gates. 2 gates, yep. And this door right here with the kind of antlers sticking out, whatever they are. Open the door. I like this because you open the door and it seems to be a closet with some shelves and stuff. Note the door is in another door frame. So open/close the door again and find that it does this fun thing. I like this freaky thing that would never happen in real life. It's another room. Yeah. With a light switch. And I can ditch this. It's fine. Yes, we have bookshelves, some stuff, and oh look, it's a little music practice room. Purple carpet and the tiles, it's nice. There's a drum, the harp, remember I'd mentioned they'd both come back. Yeah, the chairs for people to practice on, and there's, what's this, a book of sheet music? Waltzes of the Nightmares, 1950 edition, sheet music transcribed by unknown. Okay, interesting. Of course, the light goes out, but there's another switch because 30 seconds. Cool. So, fun, hidden. You do need the drumstick. As we do this, anytime if you touch the drum with your hand, it resets the sequence. Yeah. So, remember the note said someone would count the beat 1, 2, 3. Right? And then someone would play on the harp. I'll pretend like you don't have to sit here, but the first 4 measures. The first 4 measures of a waltz would be 12 notes. So that was 6. And then this opens up. I like, just like the end of Myst, the library, it opens up in different methods. So let me grab this. There's a reason you can go back here. If you didn't have that ritual object, you need to get the back path into that room where you're going to get the skeleton key. All the way down this hall. I'm going to show this off for a minute, and then we'll cut so I can show the other way right here to get in here. But crossbow, blood and bones, and another arrow. And then you can run down here. Yep. And that way takes you to the hallway to the drawing room at the first floor of the castle. And this way, another really dark hall, right? Come in. Takes you. Oops, goes down. Yep, into this room. We can go back and forth. And you can pull that and Castellan's cat again to let you know you're in the right spot. If you didn't have the ritual object. Yeah. The demon books are still here. And no, you can't get in there. You can't get in there. Alright, back out. Now, because that auto closes, I'm going to show real quick the other way to get to that back path. Yeah, okay, so there is another way to get to that back path. If you remember this hallway that I'm in, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Yep. This is the room with what I call the antlers, right? So, right, the music room. So the alternate way is, forget that. Well, real quick, I'll just show the ugly bathroom. Love it. If you get close and touch, because you know you want to. Ew, what's up with this bathroom? And big hand comes out if you touch the water. You shouldn't, just don't mess with that kind of crap, okay? Just a friendly tip. That's the ugly bathroom. Anyway, if you take this other right-hand door, I showed it off in the other video briefly, because it has eye bats pinned with bolts, and then some ice spiders, which are new. And there's a guy to my left behind the door, waiting for the door to close automatically. But yeah, these guys all got shot by something. The crossbow, perhaps the crossbow that I just showed you. Mm-hmm. And that guy vanishes. Anyway, like all this. So, chair knocked. Clearly, these things were in here for some reason, and somebody was getting attacked and shot them with a crossbow, and they had to escape quickly. All right, we've got a mantle. And a little mantle puzzle. You've seen that. You've seen the coffins. But one is a button. It slides the back panel of that. So you come out here, and you see more bolts. And the crossbow. And you could definitely tell that this person was backtracking shooting because of the direction of the bolts, right? And that probably closed itself or whatever. So blood arrow till go left, right? Crossbow and all that. So you would go left, and again, that gets you to that back room. One fun thing I like to note, I love doing those one-way walls. You can just walk right through them. But the fun thing is that wall, beyond this wall, this path, right, leads to the music room. And remember, this is where the bookshelf was and opened up. So I like doing the one-way see-through walls because as you're coming through here, you wouldn't think that that was anything or led anywhere. Especially you got the reinforcement of the arrow. when you come out of here, you get the arrow telling you to go left. If you even look right, nothing seems to indicate that you should be going that way. And furthermore, this is bordered on that. So, yeah, that's just fun. Ah, yes, there's another fun thing. And as I've mentioned, I like back walls and back corridors to castles, homes, everything. So I'll show you what's up. This door, if you recall, at the end of that hallway, and you go through this. Yeah, okay. And beyond here, you've got the book room, spooky. When you look in there and you get that music hit and everything and realize, oh, since you didn't have the ritual object, you can't go anywhere. Castellan, my man Castellan, shows up with his speech bubble that says, "Frightful summons, yes. I know the master has an item, a magical artifact of dispel and protection. Last I saw of it, it was in another wing of the castle. There might be alternate ways to the room beyond that one." Well, now you know. It's pointing out the artifact that we had at the end of the first wing on the foyer. This video started. And the alternate ways, plural, we just went through the 2 back ways into that room to avoid going in there. However, what's fun is, yes, Castellan, keep looking at me, this broken out space. I like this. I like this a lot. I like just feeling like the wood panels were actually removed and the wall wasn't there. And you can step in. Hey, look at that. It's dark and spooky. And check it out. We're here. We go through here. And, oh, look at that. A gate that's down. Remember? Remember what I said? That the gate switch on the other side of the brown pillar would unlock that. And again, similar sequence here. Drops that. So, if you weren't clever enough to find or even think to find the music room solution or that button on the mantle for the fireplace, you can come through here, backtracking, particularly if you've been here before. Rotating bookcase, which all haunted houses and castles should have. And now you can get the artifact. You can grab it, and you can backtrack real quick without having to go through the entire castle in proper Metroidvania fashion. Take the back path. And here we are. We open this up. Good. Dispelled. We're in. Don't even need this anymore, right? Ha! Boom. This is clear. And now we can get in here. And there we go. We're back in here where we need to be. Where we can read that and open that and step through the mirror and do the 2 rooms thing and eventually get the skull key and exit that way for shortcuts. All that good stuff. And, yeah. So, yeah, that is some extra stuff from Castle Ravenswich that Delco and I put into this place. The, like I said, non-essential kind of ways to go. The first video, the long one, is the actual full path and everything you do need to do. And this shows you the 3 ways to get into this room and, you know, actually have a good time. So, yeah, have a good evening. Deactivate recording mode.